Hello, my urbanites. How are you? I missed you all. How are you doing on this Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? I am Dr. Lisa Lacan, and for those who do not know me, I have a PhD in psychiatric rehabilitation as well as a master's in rehabilitation counseling. So I work with individuals with disabilities. They can have various disabilities and things of that nature. So I work with adults as well as some youth with disabilities to help them on their wellness and recovery journey, particularly employment. So I want to welcome you all to Urban Tools for Change, the YouTube channel. I need you to do me a couple of things. I need you to like, I need you to share, and I need you to subscribe to this page. Today, we are going to deal with a topic that actually dropped into my lap based on personal experience. Not my experience, but something that I have seen and noticed in the urban community. When we deal with and we discuss our issues and our health issues with our physicians, I noticed that many of us do not ask questions of our physicians, that we are, perhaps a little intimidated by them. We are afraid to ask probing questions of them. So tonight, can popping pills kill? Well, actually, yes and no. What we're going to do is have a discussion about asking questions of your doctor. So I'm going to give you a list of 10 questions, practical questions that you can come armed with, that you need to ask your doctor when they prescribe medication to you. Because I want you to remember, my urbanites, you are in the driver's seat of your health. Your doctor is to assist you in steering you in the right direction. Let me repeat that. You are in the driver's seat of your health, and it's your doctor that is there to help guide you and to help steer you in the right direction. Do you remember when you first learned how to drive? Well, I know for me, when I first learned how to drive, I actually was behind the driver's seat, right? And then I had someone next to me assisting me and saying, okay, Lisa, you're going too fast. You're going too slow. Don't turn the corner like this. That's what the doctor is for. All right. So I'm going to get through this. I'm not going to hold you up because I know it's 8 p.m. and I know you all have things to do, but I need you to do me a favor. I need you to write these questions down or put them in your phone. So the next time you see your physician, you can ask your physician these questions, because I know a lot of us don't ask our physician questions when they give us a script, and we just take it blindly and then we dash out the office, right? I used to do that. I don't do that anymore because I'm a little older now, and this is something that I'm teaching my children, and this is something that I always work with my clients to do. I always work with them so that they can ask questions. Okay, so, and this is going to be an open dialogue. I don't want to do all the talking, so I hope that you all, when you come in, introduce yourselves, tell me where you're from, so we can have this open discussion. And if you have questions that you ask your doctor that I did not touch upon, please let me know in the comment section. Okay, so the first question is, now these questions it's not any particular order at all. Again, have an open discussion with your doctor. But the first question typically is a why question. So I have my index cards right here. All right, so why specifically do I need this particular medication? Okay, that's the first question. Question number one. Why specifically do I need this particular medication? Now, the reason why I ask this question is because you need to know exactly what your diagnosis is. You need to know what your diagnosis is in layman's term. And also you need to understand what the prognosis is and how can this medication treat what is ailing you. And you need your doctor to be as transparent as possible. And again, to speak to you in layman's term. Don't use a lot of medical, if he uses a lot of medical verbiage, ask the doctor to kind of take it down, to tell you why this specific medication for what is ailing me. Okay, so that's question number one. Why specifically do I need this particular medication for my diagnosis? And again, you want a clear understanding of what you have been diagnosed with. You need a clear understanding of what the prognosis is and how this medication can be effective. All right. Question number two. What is the likelihood of addiction with this medication? So oftentimes doctors prescribe to us medications such as opioids, fentanyl, things of that nature, which are highly addictive. So if you are in pain, you may have some painful complications. You may have lupus, you may have HIV/AIDS, you may have some form of cancer, and you are in a lot of pain. Your doctor may prescribe to you pain medication. If that's the case, you need to ask your doctor, how likely am I to become addicted to this medication? Because not for nothing, it was, I think, the National Institute of Drug Abuse, NIDA, they actually said that fentanyl, which is a pain medication, is 50 to 100 times more potent than morphine. So fentanyl is the pain medication that Prince, my beloved Prince, he overdosed on because he took so much. What happens with fentanyl and most other substances that enter your body, they hijack your brain, the part of your brain that controls your emotions and things of that nature. So once your brain is hijacked with this particular drug, with this particular chemical, it starts to crave it more and more and more. So if you are already a person that struggles with addiction, you may not want to be prescribed medication that is, highly addictive. All right. So that's the second question. What is the likelihood of addiction with this medication? All right. Number three. Number three is very important. Okay. Number three is, what are the side effects of this medication? Now, there are different side effects to medication. Okay. So you have present side effects and you have long-term side effects. You need to ask your doctor specifically, what are the immediate side effects as well as the long-term side effects? Also, you need to ask your doctor, what are the low risk and what are the high risk? Because when you are prescribed medications, you have some low risk long-term side effects and vice versa, high risk immediate side effects. So when I immediately knew I was going to talk about this, I thought about antidepressants, because one of the long-term side effects of using antidepressants, especially for a very long time, is the inability to have and to reach an orgasm. So say, for instance, if you would have known this, and your doctor prescribed, the medication associated with, your depression, would you have taken the medication, or would you have asked questions like, are there alternative medications to this? So this is the third question. Okay. What are the side effects, past and long-term side effects, low risk side effects, and I need to know the high risk side effects. Now, for high blood pressure, there have been some studies to show that high blood pressure in men can create ED, which is erectile dysfunction. So, depending on the medication that your doctor may prescribe to you, you need to ask that question. Is it going to cause me to have, ED, erectile dysfunction? Because that can be problematic in your with your lifestyle. If you have a partner, that may be problematic. And then oftentimes doctors put you on another medication so that you can counteract the erectile dysfunction and things of that nature. So speak to your doctor and ask your doctor that. What are the side effects? The immediate side effects, and what are the long-term side effects, and also low risk and high risk. And if you are not satisfied with the side effects that your doctor is discussing with you, what you need to ask your doctor is, are there alternative medications to this, what you're prescribing? Now, this goes into two ways, okay? Alternative meaning, do I need to make a lifestyle change so that the medication you're prescribing to me may be lessened? Or is there another type of medication that will be just as effective? So, case in point, this is when you, my urban knights, you have to be extremely honest with your doctor when you're talking about making a lifestyle change. You have to let your doctor know what you eat, how often you eat it, what you drink, how often you drink, what you smoke, how often you smoke. So, if you've been diagnosed with high blood pressure, you need to let your doctor know about your diet. Are you eating fatty foods? Okay. And if you've been diagnosed with diabetes, are you eating foods with a lot of sugar? Are you eating the ice cream? Are you eating the Krispy Kreme? Are you eating, the birthday cakes and all that other stuff? You have to be honest with your doctor. And that's where the partnership comes in, because your doctor could say, you know what, let me hold off on this medication. Let's develop a diet change, and then we'll see from there. We'll take it from there. Okay. So, are there alternatives to this medication? Meaning, is there something that I need to do with my lifestyle to change my lifestyle? Or is there another drug or medication that I could use that has less adverse side effects that will be able to treat my condition? All right, got that? Now, this one is a very important one. What do I do if I miss a dose? Okay, so sometimes life happens, we forget our medication. So, do we double up? Do we triple up? What do we do? I don't know, depending on the medication. This is something that you have to ask your doctor. What do I do if I miss a dose? Because if I miss a dose, that means that the medication obviously is going to be less effective. If I miss a dose, yeah, I have no idea what that means to the medication that you're taking. So you need to ask your doctor, what will happen if I miss a dose? Am I supposed to double up or wait until the end to take it? I don't know. So that's what you need to ask your doctor. The next one is, now this one is getting a little personal in a sense when it comes to medication. Okay. So this one, you have to be very bold and you have to look your doctor in their eyes and ask them this question. This is very important. Would you prescribe this medication to your loved one with the same diagnosis? Okay. You definitely need to know, because one thing that I always do in my field, I always treat my clients as if they were one of my loved ones. And I say to myself, if my son or daughter walked through the doors of an agency like BMI, how would I want them to be treated? So this one is very important. You have to be very bold to ask them, okay? But you have to look them in the eye and ask them, would you prescribe this medication to one of your loved ones that has been diagnosed with the same, condition? And you have to figure out, look at their body language. If they, don't answer the question immediately with a yes or no, you may want to probe a little further and kind of challenge them and ask them why not, without getting too personal into their personal business. But why not? If it's good enough for me, how come it's not good enough for your child? Or how come it's not good enough for your wife? Or something like that. All right, moving right along. This next question, very important also when it comes to medication and doctors, because doctors are human. Doctors are not God. They are human. This question is, do you have a personal financial stake in this medication? Basically, doctor, do you own stock in this medication? Because not for nothing, doctors do own stock in certain medications that they be pumping out and feeding you. Sorry, well, anyway, I know of a doctor that when I worked on the treatment team, she told me, blank, a psychiatrist told me that she had stock in a medication. And I kid you not, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. Everyone on her case load that had schizophrenia, they were administered and prescribed the exact same medication because she had stock in the medication. So you need to ask your doctor, listen, do you benefit financially, like personally, financially, from prescribing this medication? And again, this is another one where you have to look them in the eyes. You have to determine their body language to see how they're going to respond to you when you ask this question, because this is very important. The next question is, which is this one, very important. How should I store my medication? Now, we do get information when we pick up our medication from the pharmacist, but how many people read that? I mean, I read some of it, but it's so long, it's like a scroll. It's so long, like, who reads all that stuff? So anyway, how should I store this medication? Should I put it in a cool environment, like the freezer? Not the freezer. That'd be cold. I don't think the freezer will work. But a cool environment like the refrigerator? Should I put it in room temperature? Should I put it in the bathroom where it's moist? You need to ask your doctor, because oftentimes if you put your medication in the wrong environment, it can lose its effectiveness. So you have to be aware of, how should I store my medication when I get it, and then follow the directions so it can be effective. All right. This next one is, all of these are important, but this one is, how do I know the meds are working? How do I know this medication is working? What is the telltale sign for me that this medication is working? So, am I supposed to feel something? Am I supposed to experience something? Tell me, doctor, what should I expect as a result of this medication working? And how long will I be on this medication? And then your doctor will tell you how long you'll be on the medication, how many things, the dosage that you should take per day, every other day, and things of that nature. Ask your doctor questions. That's why they're there. Okay. Next one is, this is important too, because if you are a working individual, oftentimes doctors look at us as just patients and not part of a workforce. We are more than just patients. We are educators. We are, bankers. We have a life outside of the doctor's office. So this question is, will or can the side effects impede my work performance? That's important because, say, for instance, if you are an educator and you are a teacher and you've been prescribed medication, and one of the side effects is frequent urination, and you teach third graders, and you have to go to the bathroom every 20 or 30 minutes on this medication. What are you going to do? Because the bathroom is all the way down the hall to the right and then to the left, and you can't keep the students in the class by themselves for a very long period of time. So, what are you going to do? Do you wear a Depend? I don't know. I don't know. This is why you have to ask, your doctor this question. Will this medication impede on my work productivity? Will this medication make me drowsy during my work hours? Because if you are in customer service and you're taking medication and it's making you drowsy, that may not be the right medication time for you to take. So you have to have a discussion with your doctor about that. You have to be honest with your doctor and let your doctor know what type of work you do. And is this medication going to cause you to get into any type of problems on the job? Now, in the event that you are not able to change medications and things of that nature, this is where you need to have a discussion with your supervisor and let your supervisor know that you may need a reasonable accommodation. Now, a reasonable accommodation is something that typically costs under a certain amount of dollars, like under $500 or something like that. Each industry, they have their understanding of reasonable accommodation. So you need to have communicate with your supervisor and let your supervisor know, guess what? I'm taking this medication, and one of the side effects is frequent urination. I'm not able to leave the class unattended for a long period of time. So how can we work this out? Whereas the kids will get what they need, the students will get what they need, and I can get what I need also without wearing a Depend. So basically, you need to have a discussion with your supervisor if it comes to that. But oftentimes, you definitely need to know, your doctor needs to know what it is that you do for a living, because the side effects of the medication can impede on your work productivity. And you do not want to get written up. You don't want to lose your job or anything like that as a result of your side effects of the medication. And that's why I often, the title, Can Popping Pills Kill? Because it can kill. It can kill your dreams. It can kill your sex life. It can kill your job position. Also, on the flip side of that, it can also treat certain things. Okay. So, this is my bonus question for you, because those are all the 10, but I have one bonus question. If you are referred to a specialist, okay, you need to ask your physician why this specific specialist, and is this specialist culturally competent? Now, you can say culturally competent. I'm just very blunt, and I ask my doctors, is this doctor Black? I just do. Because I prefer someone that is culturally competent. I prefer to sit across the table or the desk from someone who may have experienced, my culture, my food, my music, things of that nature. So, you know, it's up to you. But, those are the 10 questions, very practical questions that you can ask your physician. You can write them down. You can do what I did, put them on index cards, keep them in your purse, put them in your phone so that you can always have them. And these questions, some of them, you can also ask your vet, because our furry friends, Our furry family friends, oh, I love our pets. They get medication too. And guess what? The medications that they get, they can cause them diabetes, frequent urination, the same things that happen to us. So not only is it, wonderful for your physician, it's also wonderful for your pets when you speak to a veterinarian. Now, I want to let you in on a little secret. It's not really a secret, but it kind of is. If you don't get the opportunity to ask your doctor, do you know who is the next best person to ask about your medication? I'm going to give you an account of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No one knows? Your pharmacist. Yes, the pharmacist. Your pharmacist. The pharmacist is like, they exist, but they don't exist. They're like the bartender. Like, they're very important, but they just, I don't know about the pharmacists. Like, how come pharmacists aren't seen as this? Pharmacists are dope. Let me tell you, anything you need to know about your medication, ask your pharmacist. If you left your doctor's office and you forgot to ask your doctor about something, ask your pharmacist. Also, there are some good sites that you can look into, like the Mayo Clinic, fantastic, WebMD, fantastic. But for the most part, have that discussion with your doctor. Okay, so I done flicked all the 10 cards away. So I can't even go through all the 10, but hopefully you took notes. And if you didn't, you can always replay this video back, but also like, share, and subscribe, because this information is very important. You should not keep this information for yourself. And I want you to, the next time you go to the doctor and you get a prescription, I need you to let me know what happened as a result. You can email me at urban2podcast@gmail.com. Again, that's urban2podcast@gmail.com. Let me know what happened as a result of having that discussion with your doctor. Okay. Again, it's very important. 10 practical, questions, because sometimes popping pills kill. And if we don't ask the right questions, we go down this slippery slope and then we end up, unfortunately, like Prince. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Hopefully you were able to gather those 10 things. Listen, when I say 8 o'clock, I start at 8 o'clock. Okay. So I don't start at 8:10. I don't start at 8:20. I don't start at 8:15. I start at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, I am Dr. Lisa Lacan. I am here for you. If you have emailed me some questions, I am at urban2podcast@gmail.com. Come armed with your questions when you sit across from your doctor. Have a wonderful, blessed evening. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Good night.